Hey YouTubers and lightsaber fans, just doing a quick video here based on something that I've been contemplating for a little while now. It's sort of based on a bit of fatigue that I've been getting with this something in the Star Wars sort of like fan base slash community. I don't know how many others out there will feel the same way as me about this, but I just wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on it, when this particular video gets views and all that. And that's how many of you out there are starting to get a bit of fatigue with there always being a canon answer for absolutely everything in the Star Wars universe, particularly the things that don't actually need an answer. Like, for example, I saw a YouTube video today based on why lightsabers always deignite after they leave the hands of the person that's using them. Like in a lightsaber duel, as soon as like it leaves their hands, if it's flung out of their hands, or if the lightsaber's cut from the hand of the lightsaber duelist, why the lightsabers always automatically turn off. It's something that I'd obviously noticed, years ago watching Star Wars films. This isn't something that I'd never not noticed before. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's one of those things that I didn't really care to know the answer. I kind of always put it down to, well, the reason why the lightsabers always automatically deignite after they leave the hands of the duelist is because if they stayed on, then that would be it would cause more problems and ask more questions than needs be. Like if two lightsaber duelists are fighting each other, the lightsaber leaves one of the hands and it stays ignited. But we know that lightsabers can basically cut through anything. So if it was still ignited when it hits the floor, it will start drilling into the floor and stuff, which is problematic and a bit of a unnecessary headache for the filmmakers, because if that happened in that scene, then they've got to extend the scene with unnecessary shots showing that and showing the resolution of that, and it's just unnecessary and it's kind of a waste of time. So I kind of always just put it down to that. That's why that's the reason why lightsabers always deignite after they get flung out of the person's hand. That was the only reason and explanation that I needed. I didn't really need a canon answer for it. I just thought that any canon answer for it would just be kind of just playing into the hands or whatever, or the cots and prams of the fan community, the fan base. The same as the length of the lightsabers, the length of the actual blade. Like I'd noticed from this is going way back to episode 1. This is going way back to the Phantom Menace. I first noticed it way back then when I was still a kid, that in certain shots of the Phantom Menace, the actual lightsaber blades appear to be shorter and they appear to be longer in others. Even back then, even though I noticed it, I still didn't really care about getting a canon answer for it. I just put it, to be honest, back then, I kind of just put it down to it being a continuity error or consistency error. However which way you wording you choose to use for it. That's kind of just what I put it down to, and that's that. It was just a movie, kind of like a movie mistake, a movie guff up. However way you want to put it. That's what I put it down to. It's longer in certain shots and scenes than it is in others. Either because of mistake or even because of could even be down to spatial issues. They could be in certain areas or have certain objects when they were filming that could have been cumbersome or could have got in the way of the actor when they were using the prop. So there could have been times where, because due to the blade length of the prop they were using, they could accidentally hit it, or even could be a safety issue, that when they were filming these scenes, the longer the blade of the prop they were using, the more chance of them hitting the other actor. So they simply shorten the length of the blade to accommodate for that. They shorten it for health and safety issues. That's probably the most likely of the scenarios now that I think about it. But the point I'm making is that that's how I thought and perceived it back then. That's how I perceive it now. That's how I've always perceived it. And I never really needed a canon answer for it, even though we got one. We got one in the form of the reason why they appear to be longer and short in certain scenes is because the Jedi or whoever has actually manually shortened the blade. It's the whole dual phase crystal. There's like two crystals inside of the lightsaber that enables the user to change the length of the blade. There are some elements of that I actually kind of like, and I kind of liked it more when we were given a scene where we actually saw it. I saw it. I don't know how many of that are officially, but the first time I saw it in action was in Star Wars Rebels. Where Ezra actually shortened the length of Kanan's lightsaber, to kind of accommodate with his shorter stature, and that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool thing to see. It wasn't necessary, it wasn't needed, but it was still pretty cool to actually see. But back to the kind of the subject at hand. Even though some of these things, they can be cool to visually see, for me at this point now, I've just got fatigue with it. I really have. I've just got to that point now where I go onto YouTube, I see these videos being uploaded with another subject, answering what's kind of to me is sort of like a petty thing. It's something that that it kind of it's a question that represents the sort of I don't want to say short or narrow-mindedness, but sort of like the pettiness of the fan community. When the subject is always based on something that nitpickers would only think of. It's not something that's integral to the story, integral to character development, integral to the canon. It's just nitpicky issues, and there's always a canon answer for it. And it kind of bugs me as well, because I feel that the reason why there is an official canon answer for all of these things is because the writers and the producers, the powers that be of Lucasfilm, they've kind of been browbeaten into giving these canon answers because of the nitpickers out there. They have to have a canon answer. It has to be in a book or it has to be in a TV show. They have to have the answers to absolutely every aspect of the film. And I can understand if from their point they get to a point where they're kind of sick of it. They're sick of having to incorporate and make up out of thin air these answers and stuff, these official canon answers, just for the sake of the nitpickers. They can't just let it be as it is. If in one scene, Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber is quite long, and then the next scene it's shorter and stuff, just leave it be. It is what it is. That's that's my thinking. And I know there was a lot of other people that think the same. They think, what, it really doesn't matter if it's longer in one scene and shorter than the other. Then that's just how it is. I'm sure there was a production issue for it, but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't overly affect your experience with the film. So who cares? It is what it is. But anyway, I just wanted to spend 10 minutes or so just talking about this, and just to see how many of you out there kind of feel the same way, or if there is many people out there that feel the same way as me. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below, and I will give it a read when the comments start pouring in, etc. whenever. But thanks for watching, and I will see you all again very soon.